What is Evergrande and what is going on?
Evergrande is the largest property developer slash conglomerate with all sorts of businesses in China. What's going on is I think it holds something like 300 billion in debt that it's going to end up. It's in bankruptcy right now. And it's been going on for a long time. Since 2020, well, here's the backstory. Evergrande, largest property developer, right? And as you know, in China, if you read any, even, mainstream media stuff, China has a real estate issue right now. It's overbuilt, over-leveraged. So this big property developer, for years now, has been building and building and building and building, and carrying so much debt, taking on so much debt. And, if you look at in China, and there are some cities there that are we're talking like millions of square feet of commercial buildings and stuff completely vacant. Evergrande is responsible for the majority of housing projects. But, the problem stemmed from, for example, the system in China. You have to go pay a huge deposit up front for a property that they haven't even broken ground on. All you see is like a rendering. That's how it works over there. Mm-hmm. So what happened is as the economy is declining in China, during COVID, manufacturing got shut down, all that. It's created so much problems over there. And Evergrande has taken on debt from foreign creditors, not just within the borders of China, outside. So I think about a few months ago, they missed a debt payment. When you miss a bond payment, that's when
Like you always say, in the shitter.
Well, that's when things start going downhill. Yeah. You miss a bond payment. So they're right now in bankruptcy. And the bigger problem here is the Evergrande stock is listed in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, right? So the courts that are going through the bankruptcy proceeding is in Hong Kong, but Evergrande's assets, okay, when you go to bankruptcy, guess what? Someone has to seize your assets. A trustee seizes your assets, and then there's an orderly liquidation to all the creditors that you owe, right? But Evergrande's bankruptcy is in a Hong Kong court. That's how messed up China is. But the provinces or the cities or whatever you call it in mainland China don't recognize the court. So they're in bankruptcy, but the bankruptcy trustee or the bankruptcy proceedings, etc., may not have access to liquidating the assets in all the different provinces. So it's stuck right now. Mm-hmm. And the Chinese government, in 2020, actually, they saw the real estate market was getting, a bubble. There was so much unoccupied stuff. They were building these ghost zombie cities, whatever. Mm-hmm. And they started capping the amount of debt that Evergrande could take on. And when the company is so highly leveraged and they cannot refi that debt with more debt, right? This is what happens right now. And the risk, international risk, not so much. Yeah, there's a lot of international creditors to Evergrande. But the bigger problem, I think, that people are concerned about, that you should be concerned about, is China is only second to us, right, in GDP, the size of their economy, right? And if they go into like their version of a great financial crisis with the demise of Evergrande, and Country Garden is another one, and all these real estate developers are all going down because the real estate market is tanked over there, right? If that happens, there's going to be contagion effects for the rest of the world. I read an interesting article, I think on NPR or Reuters, that said that one of the potential effects is you're going to see dumping over here on their products, because Chinese government was trying to move their economy from a manufacturing base to a consumer base like this, mm-hmm. right? But unsuccessful, obviously, right now. That's why the economy is, really, really on a decline. Right now, there's a lot of concerns, high unemployment rates of the youth, all that kind of stuff, so on and so forth. Right? If that happens, there's this risk that they're going to start dumping all their products on us, exporting their deflation to us, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Maybe a good thing initially, but that could be a big problem, because guess how many other countries around the world, in the developed world, manufactures their products from China? So it's like a global contagion, but I don't see it as being a massive material change in the markets or anything. There's going to be some ripple effects, but who knows? It's still not worked out yet what's going on in China.